Hey guys, today we're gonna work on buffer operators of the RxJS. So I think we all are aware of the buffering of streaming data. So if you have some sort of streaming which is coming in a regular basis or regular interval or any random interval, and you want to buffer those first into the array and then you want to emit after some time. So this is the operator that you want to use for. So as syntax is mentioning is like buffer is it my function name, sorry, my operator name, and it takes the closing notifier. So you have to specify another notifier or observable which emitting the value, and whenever that closing notifier emit the value, at the same time is gonna be returning me the entire buffer array and so on. So here you can see that if you see that A, B, C, and then my second, this is my closing notifier and it's emitting the value. So it creates the bundle of A, B, and C and return the emit that value. Similarly, if you go here like and D, E, F, so here you got the D, E, F, and then Z, H, I, and so every closing notifier emit whenever the emit well emitting the value, it's gonna be reset the buffer and start the new buffer at the same time. Okay, now let's check it out on the code. So basically I'm taking like importing the interval operate observable just for create the series of number and buffer operators from the RxJS slash buffers. And here is my simple function which is going to exporting and that I'm going to use on my index.js to just execute that one. All right, so like constant source, so this is my source observable, so that's interval 200, so that means to every 200 milliseconds is going to emit the new value. So within a 1 second it should be emitting like a total 5 value. And here I'm specifying the another observable with the interval of 1 second, that is 1000 millisecond, and that's giving the name of the closing identifier and notifier. And now we're gonna just use that source.pipe then buffer, and then we have to specify the argument like a closing notifier, so which is the 1000. So how this is gonna behave like every 200 second my source is emitting the value, but on the but that will goes into the buffer every time, and the closing notifier it is which emit every 1 second, then it will be create a bunch of that what are the values available in buffer that is going to emit to the my subscriber. So here I'm creating the subscriber for the from the result, so which is buffer get the buffer value and subscribe the value over here and console.log. Okay, now let's see the output on the browser. Let me save this file and it's gonna be refresh on my browser. So here you can see that like first it's emit like a 0 1 2 3 4, and just because it should be returning the 5 value, but just because of it taking some sort of delay for at the first time executions because of the async operation, so that's why it's just returning 1 2 3 4. But remaining you can see that it will be almost returning everywhere, it's returning the 5 values. So we can see that was 0 to 3. Then second one, whenever the second emitting my closing notifier emits second time, it is collecting the value from 4 to 8 and emitting those values and so on for me. So it is pretty simple, but whenever you want to use like buffering that your output first from the one observable and then you want to emit after some time, this is a perfect one that you want to look for. Okay, now let's try to play around this codes and play around with the arguments that we are passing in interval, and let's see that how it's behaving. So I'm just commenting the entire region 1 codes that we already executed, and the second one I'm trying with source having the 3000 of interval, like so every 3 seconds we are generating the emitting the new value, so 0 and 1 have the 3 seconds of difference. And closing notifier I'm just using the 1, so every 1 second I'm emitting the closing notifiers value. So let's see that how it's going to behave on a browser. So let me just save this one and see that how it's work. Let me refresh that so we know that how exactly looking into it. So here you can see that that's immediately we are getting the three values as an empty array because it's emitting the every 1 second, and on after third second we are getting the value because at that time my source has emitted the one value, so that's 0. Again the next two is always empty because till now till then there is no value emitted from the source, and then again I got the 1 and then 2 again blank and 2. So we have to make sure like when you are working with buffer operators, you have to make sure like it should be have a proper intervals, and that for the closing notifier and the source notifier. If the closing notifier is emitting before the source notifier, then there is no mean of the buffer in that case. So that probably you want to check it out. I'm gonna make the video for the all other buffer related operators as well. Like there are 4 other buffer related operators, so you can check it out those videos as well. And if you like it this video, just click on the like button and help me to spread it. Thank you.